Vivid. Now this is actually a demo where you're not going to see that very often, or at all, really, if you don't blatantly stage it like the degenerate fraud that I am. But yeah, Vivid is a very casual action platformer, similar in its casual atmosphere to the Kirby series, meaning its difficulty is purposefully minimal, allowing for low-intensity gameplay that can be enjoyed by anyone, regardless of age or skill level. But not personal preference. I don't know how you get around that one. And luckily, you don't have to. Not for me anyways. I enjoy a relaxing romp through a low-stakes game every now and then. I mean, it's been several years since I've last done that, but that's not the point. Now, Vivid's gameplay itself works something like this. You have blocks of the 3 primary colors. These blocks don't take up any physical space unless you are the same color as said block, and you become a color by performing a downward spiral on a block, balloon, or enemy of that color. Each primary color also has a weapon associated to it, meaning you can only change your weapons by interacting with the environment. And then if you take all that and apply it to a traditional action platformer formula, you basically have this demo. At its core, this is a very simple game concept. However, something that this demo does an exceptional job at is showing off the already present mechanics that can lend themselves to a sort of unimposing depth. Things that can be implemented and taken full advantage of without negatively impacting the casual pace or locking out certain players. Which is my overly grandiose way of saying, there's a lot of little things that I liked. Take, for instance, something that I didn't notice until my second time through, and as such have unlocked the second interchangeable character Spirit. But that's not important. What's important is this water. Looks like it's in the foreground, right? Acts like it's in the foreground. But it's blue. And when you're the same color as something, you can interact with it. So you turn blue and you can swim with the water. This never comes up in the demo. You're never told about it. It's just a thing you can do. And it opens up the possibility for a lot more interactions like it, which makes the primary color system infinitely more interesting. The colored blocks are a great foundation, don't get me wrong, but things like this open up a lot more design space. And that's not the only thing that does. This little optional room teaches you something very interesting about one of your weapons. Your throwing axes can be used to rapidly scale blue blocks, which showcases that the weapons can potentially interact with the environment, and gives you even more ideas to play with. And I mean a lot. There's more than just 3 weapons. There are 3 weapon types. Once you complete the demo, you unlock a bunch of options. 3 weapons of each color type, totaling to 9, and the dog Spirit that also has 3 weapons for each of the 3 types, which obviously gives the player a lot of combat options, but also, if they choose to go that route, a lot of different environmental interactions. And that really evens the playing field for me, because even though I try not to judge games based on the merits of other games, it's kind of inevitable that I would ask, why, when I'm breaking my near decade-long fast for this genre, would I choose this game over the one where I can consume and replace my enemies? So that was a pretty good response, actually. Good enough, in fact, to warrant an A-, the highest grade I've given. Even though I wouldn't say this is the most fun I've had with a demo thus far, it's just such a good demonstration of what this project is. And what it is really good. Points got taken off from presentation, mostly because of the lackluster sound design, but that's what their Kickstarter is for, so that still won't fix the UI problems. But the sound was the bigger one, so that's good. And the other deduction comes from controls, where there's no big main issue, just little things like the air control and the wall jumps being a little finicky if you're holding certain directional buttons. But in terms of control setups, it's whatever you want it to be. And you know how I feel about that. Strongly. Some might say too strongly. But yeah, this is a phenomenal demo for a very interesting game, and as I mentioned, they have a small Kickstarter going on for a little bit. I don't know how this flew under my radar. But link in the description if you're interested, and it's still up, along with links to the demo and various other places you can keep up to date with the project, and I hope the rest of your day is a blast.